introduce somebody, I do not know. Okay, thank you. I will give you a short overview about the results we have at the reached and presented at the last TC9X meeting regarding the survey group 24 dealing with the topic IT security. The TC9X decided to set up a working group 26 and the process is running. So at least the results will be dealt in a future working group. I myself, I have to put just a little bit working for DB and in cooperation with CFL in Luxembourg, I'm presenting. But the most important thing was that I think, not my bibliography, but the results and the good results we reached at the survey group of TC9X. That means, at least, I took out from the presentation we had at the TC9X meeting, at least one thing we should be aware, and Jean-Osvaldo Fardin explained it also with the work on IEC Guide 120, that there is a lot of action all over the different domains, and the topics are quite related in different working groups and committees. At least we have the functional safety aspects mainly dealt in TC65. That's the home office standard. And on the other side, cyber security, IT security issues also dealt in TC65. And they talk about a horizontal standards they want to make. That means for the domains from nuclear, medical, also machine building, railway, and energy power systems. And if you look on the domain of railway, for sure, railway is a specific field, but especially fixed installation has a real close link, for example, to energy power systems. So there's a relationship. That's the reason why it's not so easy also during the work in the survey group 24 to get a common understanding and the common needs to identify it, because from the perspective of signaling, there are more specific needs. The colleagues from the fixed installation side are more in the general side, and in Germany and Austria and other countries, they are forced more or less today to deal with standards more deeply on security aspects than other domains. That's the problem we are faced to. In the working group, survey group, then we try to go within one period, meeting period. That means starting in December 2016 up to June 2017 to look first on the legal framework. Thomas Châtelet also explained this morning that the NIST directive, this afternoon, sorry. The NIST directive is becoming more and more important all over Europe, and we analyzed in the survey group what is requested by this directive, and we also identified that in some countries like Germany, France, Great Britain, Sweden, due to different reasons, coming from the military side or from the other side, there are some legal frameworks given and rules. So there's today something given by law. Other countries don't have anything, and if the directive will become mandatory, it will be necessary to give a guidance or have assistant, at least for all operators, all manufacturers, how to deal with the requirements of these directives. And last but not least, we needed to analyze this directive due to the fact that if we want to give guidance on the European legal framework base, we need to justify nowadays why we want to do it on European level, not on international TC9 level, due to the Frankfurt Agreement between IEC and Senelec, where it's requested that typically the work more or less in future will be done on international, not European level. The others, next thing is the task was there was a signaling group dealing with topic IT security so far. That means we analyzed from the perspective of rolling stock and fixed installation also what is good or different to that what was surveyed so far in the survey group of signaling SGA 16. And the other thing is we looked on those activities on TC65. There's a mirror TC65X, but it's only a mirror meeting every year. The main work is done on the IC level. The smart manufacturing, at least this is, we opened our mind and identified a lot of helpful links to other activities, because in this group there is nearly finalized a technical report dealing with framework between safety and security. So also there is work done, and at one of the meetings of the survey group, John Osvaldo Fadin presented us and gave us information on the guide 120. And if you keep it together, there's a lot of helpful relationship identified during this work. This third topic, we analyzed at least the main important standards that was necessary, because knowing the number of the standard that could deal with IT security is not enough. If we want to justify and to give a proposal about a new guide proposal, what should be dealt in a railway-specific standard, we need to know which standards exist and what is possible. So we looked on the TC65 series 62443 with the problem we could not ignore at the moment, that some of those standards are published as well as international as European standard, and some only as IEC standard. That makes the life not easier, and some are under construction. Then we looked on also on the 5159. That's a signaling specific standard dealing with IT security. It's also necessary to think about, is it really necessary to limit it to signaling, or should it be open a little bit wider for also rolling stock maybe? Then we looked also on the pre-standard of Germany, published in Germany. That's a pre-standard VDE 0831 104. That's pre-standard because on the regional, national level you could not write a standard. It's against the Senelec rules. This standard took the 5129 and tried to use requirements given in 129 to justify why requirements based on the 62443 series could be used without additional requirements. This we checked as well. And at least, for sure, if we are talking about railway, we have now in the publication, Denise, is 5126 really now published, or because I heard that they want to publish it finally in September, but I did not see the final publication. Yeah, but that was also important for us to take into account the new 5126 part 1 and 2 that everybody is waiting. It's like Christmas when it's published by CCMC. The vote is positive. So this is the storyline we analyzed. The third thing, the fourth thing is thinking about methods for risk analysis. This we shortly scratched, but at least we came not to a final result. Then we also had a short look on the definitions and abbreviations. That's a quite interesting topic. Everybody's talking, and ENISA published, Senelec published also guidance documents describing which definitions are used and which standard use which definition. We see it also in here. Is it cybersecurity? Is it IT security? There's a lot of work for those who don't want to ignore definitions that should be solved, because even if you take different standards, you could not be sure that the definition is the same for the same word. That's an important issue. But it's not a specific topic for railway domain. But we agreed at the end, we try to orientate it on 6243 series if we use terms. And Frankfurt Agreement I explained regarding the work. So I have to hurry up because I need to reduce the time lost before. The Frankfurt Agreement justification, you will see it on the slides afterwards as well. At least the reason is that we need to justify our activity on European level, and the European level is necessary, especially to give guidance and assistance from the standardization side related to the NIST directive. And if we do the work on the international level, all others outside Europe will say, what's NIST directive? We don't have it. So it's not so easy. At least you see that I explained so far. NIST directive, risk analysis. I said so far that we did not finalize it, and we had some ideas, but not completely. What I just said so far is the TC65, and also at the last TC9X meeting we identified, we made the proposal as an outcome from the survey group to establish a liaison in this direction to ensure that they don't think in a total different way, that we are all on the same track. Because both deal with similar topics, the one from the horizontal, from the process industry side, and we from the railway side, it makes sense. Then at least the technical report is 56069. If you should also, even if you are not working in this working group, survey group, or in the future 26 working group, it's an interesting document to identify how they, from the perspective of 61508 and 62443, see the link between the security environmental and the safety environmental, and the matching in between. It's an interesting technical report. So, I come now to the end to give the chance for the discussion, and we have one presentation. Next presentation. I lost my the next, because this are the documents we are related, and now I would like to give up to the next. That's the topic security in transportation systems. Tina, Giovanni. Yeah. Yes, you was also a member of the survey group 24, and I would like to give the word to you to give your presentation. Then we are nearly in the time schedule. Okay, it's up to you. Thank you.